The night the news broke, my world shattered again. A car crash in Seattle's outskirts, a name I hadn't spoken in 7 years. Mark Jenkins, my husband who vanished. She'd already sent me a venomous text. Stay away or you'll regret it. My daughters, Emma and Grace, slept upstairs, unaware their father's shadow had returned to haunt us. I stood frozen in my kitchen, the city's skyline glittering coldly through the window, knowing this wasn't just about money. It was a fight for our lives. Brittany's threat wasn't empty. Her kind never bluffed. Mark's secrets, his betrayal, and now this woman's rage were pulling me back into a storm I thought I'd escaped. I wasn't the broken woman he left anymore, but the scars he carved still ached. Could I face this? Could I protect my girls from a predator circling closer? The answers lay in a hard drive Robert promised to deliver, one Mark left behind, filled with truths that could either save us or destroy everything. I'm Sarah Peterson, a single mother of twin girls, Emma and Grace, now 7 years old. Seattle's tech scene knows me as a relentless innovator, a woman who built a career from nothing, leading a startup that's changing how people connect online. But beneath the polished exterior, I carry wounds that never fully healed. 7 years ago, Mark, my husband, walked out without a word, leaving me pregnant and alone. I was 28, drowning in debt, with no family to lean on. His divorce papers arrived the day I gave birth, a cold, legal stab that severed our life together. I remember clutching my newborns, their tiny cries drowning out my sobs, vowing to be everything they needed. That pain forged me. Every late-night coding, every pitch won, every milestone reached was defiance against his abandonment. I'm not perfect. I'm stubborn. Sometimes too guarded, haunted by trust issues that make relationships hard. My daughters are my anchor, their laughter my reason to keep going. Yet, Mark's return through this accident stirs a conflict I can't ignore. Anger at his betrayal, guilt for hating a dying man, and fear that his choices still control me. I've built walls to protect us, but Brittany's threats and Mark's will are cracks in that armor. I don't want his money, but I'll fight to keep my girls safe. The past taught me resilience. Now, it's testing whether I can face it without breaking. Every night, I check the locks on our house 3 times. It's a ritual born from the day Mark left, when I realized no one was coming to save me. I see myself back then, sitting on the floor of our old apartment, Emma and Grace wailing in their cribs. I held his divorce papers, the ink blurring from my tears. There was a photo tucked inside, one I'd taken of us at Golden Gardens Park, laughing under the sunset. I tore it in half, his smile severed from mine, and buried it in a drawer. That act wasn't just anger, it was me cutting away the hope he'd return. It's still there, that torn photo, a symbol of the trust he shattered. I never look at it, but I know it's there, like the ache in my chest when I think of him. Now, with his accident and Brittany's threats, that wound feels fresh. Last night, I checked the locks again, my hands shaking as I thought of her message. I imagined her watching us, her shadow lurking outside. My girls slept soundly, unaware of the chaos their father left behind. That torn photo haunts me, a reminder of the life I lost and the strength I found. But it also whispers a fear. What if I'm not strong enough this time? The lawyers call promised answers, but Brittany's threat echoed louder. As I held Mark's hard drive, I knew uncovering his secrets would either save us or pull us deeper into danger. The next morning, I sat at my kitchen table, Mark's hard drive cold in my hands. Emma and Grace were at school, their backpacks bouncing as they waved goodbye, oblivious to the storm brewing. My phone buzzed with messages from colleagues, unaware of my turmoil, asking about project deadlines. But all I could think of was Brittany's text. You'll lose everything. Society expects me to be the perfect tech mogul, the unflappable single mom, but inside, I felt like that 28-year-old again, abandoned and exposed. My neighbors, my team, even my friends, they saw my success, not the cracks beneath. Mark's accident was all over the news, and whispers started. Wasn't that Sarah's husband? I avoided their eyes, their pity, Brittany's existence made it worse. She was a ghost from Mark's hidden life, now threatening mine. I wanted to scream, to tell the world he left us, that I owed him nothing. But the weight of his will, naming me heir, felt like a chain pulling me back to him. I was trapped between protecting my girls and facing a past I'd fought to forget. The isolation was suffocating, like Seattle's fog closing in. That afternoon, Brittany showed up at my office, bold as venom. She stormed past security, her heels clicking like a countdown. "You think you can steal what's mine?" she hissed, her eyes glinting with malice. She claimed Mark loved her, that I was a nobody he'd erased. Her words cut deep, echoing his abandonment. Colleagues stared, their whispers like knives. She tossed a forged document on my desk, a birth certificate naming Mark as her son's father. It was a lie, but the audacity stung. I felt judged, not just by her, but by everyone who saw me as the ex-wife profiting from tragedy. Mark's betrayal wasn't just leaving, it was creating this chaos, letting this woman think she could destroy me. I wanted to fight back, to expose her, but her confidence shook me. What if she had more lies ready? What if the world believed her? My hands clenched the hard drive, my only weapon, but doubt crept in. Was I strong enough to face her? That night, I opened Mark's hard drive. My fingers hesitated, but I couldn't let Brittany's lies win. The files were a maze: videos, emails, bank records. One video showed Mark, pale and urgent, warning about Brittany's scams. "She's not who she says," he said, his voice heavy with regret. It was the first time I'd heard him in years, and it stirred a mix of anger and pity. I copied the files, my heart racing, knowing this was my first strike back. I called Robert Miller, demanding a meeting. "We'll fight her," I said, my voice steady despite the fear. I wasn't ready to face Brittany head-on, but this was a start. I hid the hard drive in a safe, checked the locks again, and kissed my girls goodnight. Their peaceful faces fueled me. I wasn't just fighting for me, I was fighting for them. But as I lay in bed, Brittany's threats loomed. This was only the beginning. Mark's secrets were my weapon, but Brittany was closing in. Her next move would test my courage in ways I never imagined. Dawn broke gray over Seattle, and a note lay on my doorstep, its words like a blade. "I see you, Sarah." No name, but Brittany's venom bled through the ink. My heart thudded as I clutched it, the paper trembling in my hands. 7 years ago, Mark's betrayal left me scanning shadows, locking doors thrice nightly, a ritual of survival. Now that terror surged back, sharper, meaner. Driving Emma and Grace to school, I checked the mirrors obsessively, her threat looping in my mind. Was that her car behind us, a black sedan lingering too long? My girls sang in the back seat, oblivious, their voices a fragile shield against my dread.
What if she targeted them?
What if I couldn't protect them? The hard drive, Mark's legacy of secrets, sat heavy in my bag, its truths a ticking bomb. Exposing Brittany could end this, but what if she struck first? At my office, every ping of my phone jolted me, each email a potential trap. I saw her face in every stranger, her smirk in every reflection. The city's hum felt like a predator's pulse, closing in. I'd built a fortress of success to shield us, but her note cracked it wide open. My fear wasn't just for me, it was for Emma and Grace, my heart's fragile keepers. I couldn't let her touch them. But the weight of that fight felt like drowning in Seattle's endless rain. That evening, Brittany ambushed me at the school gates, her silhouette sharp against the fading light. She leaned on her car, her smile a coiled snake. "Cute kids," she purred, her voice laced with menace. My blood froze, my hands clenching as Emma and Grace ran toward me, their backpacks bouncing. "Stay away," I whispered, but she stepped closer, her breath hot. "Drop the will, or they'll suffer." My instinct screamed to fight, to claw her eyes out, but my girls' wide eyes stopped me. I forced a calm nod, guiding them to the car, my pulse a war drum. Her stare burned my back as I drove off, her threat a noose tightening. She knew their school, their routine. She'd breached our sanctuary. I wanted to flee, to hide us in some distant corner, but running was surrender. The hard drive's files danced in my mind. Brittany's fake IDs, her scams, Mark's warnings. They were my weapon, but using them meant war, a public unraveling of my scars. In the rear view, Emma asked, "Who was that lady?" I lied. Just someone lost, my voice steady despite the storm inside. Brittany wasn't just after money. She wanted to break me, to claim my life. My fear was a beast, clawing at my courage, but I wouldn't let it win. I'd face her, for my girls, for the truth. At home, I locked every door, my hands steadying as I hugged Emma and Grace. Their bedtime giggles, warm and pure, anchored me. Brittany's shadow loomed, but I wouldn't let it consume us. After they slept, I called Robert my voice iron. "She's after my kids," I said. He vowed to mine the hard drive deeper, to arm us for battle. Alone, I watched Mark's videos, his haggard face pleading, "She's a liar."
Sarah.
"Keep them safe." His regret pierced me, not softening my anger, but fueling my resolve. I wasn't the shattered woman he abandoned. I'd forged a life from ruin. Brittany thought she could intimidate me, but she didn't know the fire I'd walked through. I cataloged every file, every lie she'd spun, building a case to bury her. My girls' laughter echoed in my mind, their trust my strength. I wasn't fighting for Mark's money. I was fighting for a future, for their safety. Fear gnawed, but I crushed it, my will a blade honed by years of survival. I checked the locks, not from panic but defiance, and swore to protect my family. Brittany's threats were real, but my determination was fiercer. A mother's love turned weapon, ready to strike. Brittany's threats were a blade at my throat, but Mark's secrets gave me a shield. The fight was coming, and I was ready to strike. Morning light sliced through Seattle's fog as I met Robert Miller at a tucked-away cafe, the air thick with espresso and secrets. He slid a folder across the table, its contents heavy with Mark's legacy, bank statements, forged passports, and Brittany's web of aliases. My hands shook, not from fear but fury, as I read. Mark had hunted her lies for years. His notes a map of her deceit, victims ruined, lives shattered. A video file showed her crafting a fake birth certificate, claiming a son Mark never sired. Another linked her to a crooked attorney who'd forged her papers. My heart raced. This wasn't just about money. It was a crusade for truth. I called Clara, my private investigator friend. Her voice steady as she confirmed Brittany's real name, Elena Carter, a ghost trailing fraud across 3 states. I pored over the hard drive's data, each revelation a brick in my resolve. One email detailed a couple she'd bankrupted, their despair echoing mine from 7 years ago when Mark vanished. I saw Emma and Grace's faces in my mind, their innocence fueling me. Exposing Brittany meant bearing my scars to the world, dragging Mark's name through the mud. The thought twisted my gut. Could I endure the public's gaze? Yet the alternative was worse, letting her threats choke us. I cross-checked every file, my laptop glowing late into the night, Seattle's skyline a silent witness. Clara found another victim, a woman whose story mirrored mine, ready to speak. Each truth uncovered was a weapon, but also a wound reopened. I wasn't just fighting for justice. I was fighting to reclaim my life, to shield my girls from a predator's claws. The hard drive was Mark's apology, his attempt to right his wrongs. I didn't want his redemption, but I'd use it. This was war, and truth was my sword, sharp and unyielding, ready to cut through Brittany's lies. That night, Clara's call jolted me awake, her words a spark in the dark. Brittany had been spotted near my office, probing my routines, even offering cash to a coworker for my schedule. My pulse spiked, the phone cold against my ear. I checked my home's cameras, heart sinking as I saw a car like hers prowling our street, its headlights slicing through the dusk. Fear clawed me, but anger burned hotter. Robert sent a new file from the hard drive, a chilling audio of Brittany's voice, weeks before Mark's crash, hissing, "Cross me and you're done." It wasn't just a threat. It was a confession, a thread tying her to his fate. I urged Clara to dig deeper, to hunt for any link to the accident that stole him. My mind raced. Brittany wasn't just after his fortune. She wanted to erase us, to claim everything. I moved Emma and Grace to my sisters, spinning a tale of a weekend adventure to mask my terror. Their puzzled smiles cut me, but their safety was all. I saw Brittany's shadow in every corner, her smirk haunting my sleepless hours. Clara uncovered a lead. A gas station receipt near the crash site, time-stamped minutes before Mark's car spun out. It wasn't proof, but it was a crack in her armor. I fortified our home. New locks gleaming, cameras humming. But each creak felt like her footsteps. The hard drive's secrets were my shield, but her audacity was a storm brewing. I wrote down every detail, my pen a weapon against her lies. Seattle's rain battered my windows, mirroring the chaos within. I wasn't just protecting my girls, I was hunting a predator. Brittany's moves were calculated, but so were mine. Every clue tightened the noose, but her next strike could be lethal. I stood watch, the city's pulse syncing with my own. At dawn, I stormed into Robert's office. My resolve of fire no rain could douse. "We're suing her," I declared, my voice a blade cutting through doubt. "We'll use Mark's evidence to end her." Robert's eyes gleamed as he drafted the case, targeting Brittany's claims on the will and her fabricated son. I called Clara, tasking her with finding more victims, their voices to amplify mine in court. This wasn't just my battle, it was for every soul Brittany had crushed. My hands steadied as I signed the legal papers, each stroke a vow to protect Emma and Grace. The world would see my past, my pain, but I'd face it for them. I sent a message to Brittany's lawyer. "Step back, or the truth will bury her." It was a gauntlet, bold and unyielding. The hard drive's files, mine evidence, a video of her crimes, bank records. My arsenal was ready. I thought of my girls, their laughter my anchor, and swore to shield them from her venom. Clara reported a new lead, a witness who saw Brittany near Mark's car before the crash. My heart pounded. This was bigger than money. It was justice. I wasn't hiding anymore. I was a warrior at war. The public battle loomed, my scars to be bared, but I'd face it. Seattle's skyline watched, cold and vast, as I prepared to strike. Brittany wanted chaos. She'd meet my fury, armed with truth, unyielding and fierce. The battle lines were drawn, Brittany's shadow closing in. My truth was ready, but her desperation would ignite a war beyond the courtroom. The courthouse loomed like a fortress as I filed the lawsuit against Brittany, my signature a vow carved in ink. My heart thundered, not with doubt but with purpose. Robert submitted Mark's hard drive, its contents a blazing indictment, forged birth certificates, stolen identities, and Brittany's trail of deceit. I'd pored over those files until dawn, each one a bullet for the fight ahead. Clara, my investigator, tracked down 2 of Brittany's victims, a couple whose dreams she'd gutted with her scams. Meeting them, their hollowed eyes mirrored my own from years past, when Mark's abandonment left me broken. Their courage to testify fueled mine. I wasn't alone in this war. At home, I fortified our defenses, installing cameras that blinked like vigilant eyes, new locks gleaming against the night. Every shadow felt like Brittany's reach, her threats a poison seeping through my walls. Her lawyer retaliated, filing a counterclaim, accusing me of defamation and branding me an unfit mother, demanding custody of Emma and Grace. The gall of it seared me, but I'd anticipated her venom. I gathered evidence of my daughters' thriving lives, school awards, stolen teacher letters, stolen photos of their radiant smiles. Each document was a shield, each memory a reason to fight. Brittany's lies aimed to unravel me, but I stood firm, my resolve forged in the crucible of 7 years' survival. Seattle's skyline watched, its lights cold but unwavering, as I built my case. I wasn't just fighting for Mark's inheritance. I was fighting for my girls, for our right to live free of her shadow. Clara's latest find, a bank transfer linking Brittany to Mark's funds, tightened my grip. This first step was a declaration. I'd bury her lies, no matter the cost, and protect my family with every ounce of my soul. A week later, Clara unearthed a hidden account where Brittany funneled Mark's money, a discovery that spurred the court to probe her finances deeper. I savored the moment, cooking Emma and Grace their favorite spaghetti, their giggles a balm to my frayed nerves. But Brittany struck back, venomous and swift. A local news channel aired a hit piece, painting me as a gold digger exploiting Mark's death. Her lawyer fed the lies, twisting my fight into greed. The story spread like wildfire, colleagues' glances turning cold. A major client stolen out of a deal. The betrayal stung, my reputation cracking under the public's gaze. Worse, Emma came home in tears. Her classmates' taunts, "Your mom's a liar," cutting deeper than any headline. I held her, my voice steady, eyes I promised it would pass, but I was crumbling. Brittany's smear campaign smeared a masterstroke, turning the world against me. My cameras checked my checks obsessively, my shadow lurking. Social media buzzed with hate. My inbox flooded with accusations. My Clara's witness lead, a witness who'd seen Brittany's near her crash site, kept me grounded. The restraining order was a nail, but the war was a nail from over. I shielded Grace's eyes from the chaos, my colors their shield. Her lies were a shield, a storm I'd rallied, gathering evidence, my girls trust my anchor. My reign was my struggle, my own reign, as I braced for the next blow. That night, I sat with Robert and Clara, our war room eyes lit by my laptop glowing. "She's a snake," I said, my eyes steel, "but I'll burn her lies to ash." I sent Clara to her shadow, a slip to her shadow for I to slip. I slipped a raw, my truth unfiltered, my truth spilling. My betrayal, my rise from her ruin. Posted online, it exploded. A viral storm, women's stories sharing my flood. Their voices lifted. I wasn't alone. I took Emma's Grace to park, their laughter on swings a vow I'd swing climbing. My smears weren't my define. Mark's truth would. I'd organized my files, each nail in her coffin. Clara slipped a clue, a text from her lawyer to her lawyer, slipping fraud. My Iron was my Iron, my sleepless nights. My tears my girls shed. I wasn't just my justice. I was my life. At home, I kissed my goodnight, their peaceful faces my fuel. The city's pulse beat my pulse, its streets my battlefield I'd conquer. Her lies were my storm, but I was my lightning, my strike ready. I checked my locks, not my fear but my habit, my resolve my fire no one could douse. This was my stand, my girl's future my banner. And I'd fight till her empire crumbled to dust. The world was watching, and Brittany's lies were crumbling. But the real battle was about to erupt in court, where truth would face its ultimate test. The courtroom pulsed with tension, a coliseum where truth and lies clashed. I sat beside Robert, my hands knotted, as reporters crammed the benches, their pens scratching like vultures circling. Brittany's lawyer, slick and sharp, strutted in, his smirk a blade aimed at me. She'd filed for custody of Emma and Grace, branding me unstable, wielding the media's smear as her shield. My heart hammered, but I kept my gaze steady, picturing my girls safe with my sister, their laughter my anchor. The judge, a woman with eyes like steel, banged her gavel, silencing the room. Robert rose, his voice a thunderclap, presenting Mark's hard drive, its secrets projected on a stark white screen. Brittany's forged IDs flashed, each alias a mask peeled away. Elena Carter. Thief of lives. Gasps erupted as Mark's recorded voice filled the air, weary but resolute, detailing her scams, her greed. "She's a liar," he said, his words a ghost striking from the grave. The crowd leaned forward, reporters scribbling, cameras flashing like lightning. Brittany's face strained, her poise cracking as Robert laid out bank records, stolen funds, and a fake birth certificate claiming a son Mark never fathered. The air grew heavy, the truth a weight crushing her lies. I felt the room's eyes on me, my past bared, Mark's betrayal, my struggle, now public. It was raw, exposing, but I stood tall, a mother forged in fire. Clara's testimony followed, her voice steady, linking Brittany to victims across states, their pain a chorus echoing mine. The judge's gaze sharpened, her pen pausing as Robert played another video. Brittany's own words, scheming to ruin Mark. The courtroom buzzed, the narrative shifting. My story wasn't just mine anymore. It was a spectacle, a viral storm breaking. Social media hummed outside, hashtag Justice for Sarah trending as strangers rallied. I was no longer the broken ex-wife. I was a warrior, my girl's shield. Brittany's lawyer faltered, his arguments thinning. The truth was a tide, relentless, and I rode its crest, knowing this moment was our turning point. A public reckoning that would either save us or break us forever. Robert called Clara to the stand, her words a blade carving through Brittany's facade. She unveiled Brittany's true name, Elena Carter, a shadow who'd fleeced lives from coast to coast. Documents piled up, forged contracts, drained accounts, each a wound she'd inflicted. 2 victims followed, their voices trembling but fierce, recounting how Brittany's lies stole their futures, their stories a mirror to my own 7 years ago. I took the stand next, my breath steady despite the eyes boring into me. I spoke of Mark's abandonment, the divorce papers delivered as I cradled newborn Emma and Grace, their cries my only solace. I held up their photo, my voice unwavering. She wants my daughters, but I'll fight to my last breath. The room stilled, the weight of my truth sinking in. Brittany's lawyer tried to twist my words, painting me as a vengeful opportunist, but Robert countered with damning evidence. Bank transfers showing Brittany siphoning Mark's wealth, emails plotting to erase me. The judge's brow furrowed, her silence a storm brewing. I felt the tide turn, the crowd's whispers softening, reporters typing furiously. Clara presented a video of Brittany forging documents, her smug smile caught on tape. A predator unmasked. The truth was a wildfire, consuming her lies. Outside, social media erupted, my story shared thousands of times, women posting their own tales of betrayal, their support a lifeline. I wasn't just fighting for my girls, I was fighting for every soul Brittany had broken. The courtroom became a stage, my pain a rallying cry. Brittany's eyes darted, her composure fraying as Robert pressed harder, revealing a witness who'd seen her near Mark's car before his crash. The implication hung heavy, his accident was no accident. The judge's pen stopped, her gaze locking on Brittany. My heart pounded, not with fear but power. This was our moment, the truth laid bare, a viral beacon for justice that lit up the world beyond these walls. Demanding Brittany's reckoning. Brittany took the stand, her charm a brittle mask. She denied everything, her voice smooth but strained, claiming Mark framed her. Robert's cross-examination was relentless, a hunter cornering prey. He played Mark's final video, recorded days before his crash, his face gaunt, eyes pleading. "Sarah, she's dangerous," he said, begging forgiveness, warning of Brittany's ruthlessness. The courtroom felt his sincerity, a dying man's truth cutting deep. Brittany snapped, her voice rising, accusing Mark of betrayal. But the judge's gavel silenced her. The crowd murmured, reporters' pens racing as the narrative flipped. I was no longer the scorned ex-wife. I was a mother defying a predator. Brittany's lawyer scrambled, his objections weak against the hard drive's evidence. Forged documents, stolen funds, a trail of ruined lives. The judge's eyes narrowed, her authority a blade poised to strike. Outside, the world watched, social media ablaze with my story. Hashtags painting Brittany as the villain. Clara's final testimony sealed it. A witness confirmed Brittany's presence at the crash site, her car's plates caught on camera. The courtroom buzzed, the truth a tidal wave. Brittany's facade collapsed, her hands trembling as she gripped the stand. The public's perception shifted, once hostile reporters now championing my fight, their stories rewriting me as a hero. The judge called a recess, her face unreadable, but I felt the ground shift. Brittany's power was crumbling, her lies exposed to a world that no longer believed her. I sat, my girls' faces in my mind, their trust my strength. This wasn't just my victory, it was for every victim she'd silenced. The courtroom's walls seemed to pulse, the truth a living thing, its echo rippling beyond Seattle. A viral cry for justice that would not be ignored. The courtroom victory was sweet, but doubt lingered. Could I trust this win, or was Brittany planning something darker? The courtroom's echo faded, but its weight lingered, heavy as Seattle's dusk. Alone in my car, parked beneath a flickering street lamp, I felt my strength unravel. The victory was real, Brittany's lies exposed, the crowd's tide turning, but doubt crept in, a cold whisper. Had I fought hard enough? What if her smears had stained me, painting me as the vengeful ex-wife forever? Mark's video haunted me, his broken voice begging forgiveness, admitting his failures. I wanted to cling to my anger, to keep him as the traitor who shattered me. But his warnings, his attempt to shield us, stirred guilt. Had I misjudged him, built my life on a grudge that blinded me? Emma and Grace's faces, so like his, flashed in my mind, their trust a mirror to my fear. Was I truly the mother they needed, or was I still the woman Mark left, fragile beneath my armor? The hard drive's truths had won the day, but what if Brittany had more lies waiting? My hands gripped the wheel, knuckles pale, as the city's hum mocked my unease. I'd faced her in court, but this battle was within, against the shadow of my own worth. The public saw a warrior, but I saw cracks, old wounds threatening to split wide. Could I protect my girls if I doubted myself? The night pressed close, Seattle's rain a veil over my resolve, whispering that I might not be enough, that Brittany's venom could still poison our future. That night, sleep brought nightmares. Mark's torn photo, its edges bleeding into Brittany's smirk. I woke, heart racing, the darkness thick with dread. Her threats still lingered, a noose I couldn't shake. My deepest fear wasn't her, it was failing Emma and Grace, letting my brokenness betray them as Mark had betrayed me. I slipped into their room, their soft breaths a fragile lifeline. The torn photo lay in a drawer, its weight a chain to my past. It wasn't just pain, it was a symbol of my doubt, the voice whispering I wasn't enough. I held it, its jagged edges biting my fingers. Brittany's shadow loomed, but the real enemy was within. My fear of falling short, of losing my girls to my own flaws. I traced their sleeping faces, their trust a beacon. I'd survived Mark's abandonment, built a life from ashes, yet doubt clawed at me. Facing it meant owning my scars, believing I was more than his betrayal. The photo wasn't my truth anymore. My strength was. Brittany couldn't steal that, nor could my fears. Seattle's rain tapped the window, a rhythm urging me to rise. I had to confront this, not for Mark, but for my girls, for the woman I'd become, unyielding and fierce. At dawn, I stood in the backyard, the torn photo burning in a small fire, its ashes lifting like a vow. I wasn't Mark's victim. I was Sarah, mother, warrior unbroken. I called Robert, my voice clear, mapping our next steps to seal Brittany's fate. I wrote a letter to Emma and Grace, promising to be their shield, their home, no matter what came. Doubt lingered, a faint echo, but I silenced it. Brittany's threats, Mark's failures, they were shadows, not my truth. I defined me. I locked the doors, not from fear but resolve. Each click a step toward victory. Clara's latest find, a text proving Brittany's fraud, steeled me further. My girls' laughter, bright as morning, was my fire. I wasn't fighting for Mark's money or his memory. I was fighting for our future, for their joy. The city's skyline gleamed, no longer a cold witness, but a stage for my stand. I'd face Brittany's next move, not as the woman Mark broke, but as the mother who'd rise. My strength was my own, forged in pain, tempered by love. I was ready, my heart a blade, my will a fortress, unyielding against whatever storm awaited us. My resolve was iron, but Brittany's rage was a wildfire. Her next move would test me beyond the courtroom. The courtroom triumph ignited a firestorm. Headlines blazed, branding Britney a fraud. My story of defiance splashed across every screen. Strangers flooded my inbox with support, their words a lifeline. But venom lingered. Trolls called me a schemer, profiting off Mark's death. At work, colleagues stood by me, their nods warm, yet whispers trailed. Is she really innocent? The public's gaze was a blade, cutting both ways. Emma and Grace faced cruelty at school, kids echoing their parents' gossip, taunting them about their greedy mom. I shielded them with bedtime stories, their smiles my anchor, but the world's scrutiny was relentless. Social media amplified it all. My viral letter soared, shared by thousands. Yet Britney's smears festered in dark corners of the internet. Reporters camped outside our home, their lenses glinting like predators' eyes, stealing our peace. I wanted to vanish, to hide my girls from the chaos, but I faced each dawn for them, my strength a defiance against the storm. Seattle's streets pulsed with judgment, its rain a mirror to the weight I carried. I drove past billboards flashing my face, a hero to some, a villain to others. The foundation I'd started gained traction, women sharing their own battles, their voices a chorus of resilience. But the hate stung, anonymous messages accusing me of lies, threatening my girls. I fortified our home, cameras humming, locks gleaming, yet the world's roar was deafening. My fight wasn't just against Britney. It was against a society quick to judge, slow to heal. Each step forward felt like wading through mud, but my daughter's laughter kept me moving. Their trust a beacon in the fog of public chaos. Britney's mask shattered. Clara sent me footage of her raging outside the courthouse, her screams at reporters raw, unhinged, her lies laid bare. She'd lost her grip on the world's trust, her empire of deceit crumbling. Then, chaos struck. One night, our home erupted in flames, smoke choking the air. I grabbed Emma and Grace, their cries piercing as we fled, the fire's roar swallowing our sanctuary. Firefighters confirmed arson, and a neighbor's camera caught Britney's car nearby, her desperation a blazing confession. My heart thundered as I held my girls in a hotel room, their trembling hands in mine. The police hunted her, but her recklessness was a specter, unpredictable and lethal. I clutched Mark's hard drive. Its secrets our only shield against her madness. Clara's reports painted Britney unraveling, her allies abandoning her, her lawyers scrambling. Yet her fury terrified me. A cornered beast striking blindly. I saw her shadow in every flicker, her threats a pulse in my veins. The fire wasn't just an attack. It was her last stand, a bid to erase us. I strengthened our defenses, new cameras watching, my resolve hardening. The world watched, too, social media buzzing with our story, hashtag Justice for Sarah trending again. But fear not, Britney was a ghost now, her next move a mystery. I kissed my girls, their warmth my fire, and vowed to end this. Seattle's skyline loomed, its lights cold but unyielding. As I braced for her final blow, Mark's truths my weapon against her chaos. The fire stripped us bare, our home ash. We fled to a safe house, a cramped apartment far from Seattle's glare, where Emma and Grace's drawings were our only warmth. The police tied Britney to the blaze, but she'd vanished, a phantom hunting us. Every creak was her shadow, every noise a threat. I held my girls close, their questions. Why, Mommy? Cutting deeper than flames. Robert pushed for a swift trial, the arson fueling our case. Clara uncovered a chilling truth. A black box from Mark's car, its data showing sabotage before his crash. Britney hadn't just burned our home. She'd killed him, her greed a blade that stole his life. The revelation shattered me. Mark's death was no accident. I was thrust into a new reality, my girls and I targets of a murderer. The safe house felt like a cage, its walls closing in as I watched the news. Britney's face plastered everywhere, yet nowhere. I fortified our refuge, cameras blinking, locks tight, but fear was a constant companion. My startup faltered, clients spooked by the chaos. But my girls' trust kept me fighting. Clara's leads tightened the noose, witnesses placing Brittany at the crash site, her lies unraveling. I wasn't just protecting Emma and Grace. I was avenging Mark, reclaiming our peace. Seattle's rain fell, a relentless drum, as I prepared for the final battle, my heart a fortress, my will unbroken, ready to face the storm Brittany had unleashed. Brittany's fire burned our home, but not our spirit. Unexpected allies were about to change everything. In the safe house's dim light, Clara ushered in Lisa, a woman whose life Brittany had gutted years ago. Her eyes, steady yet scarred, met mine, a silent vow of kinship. Lisa had lost her home, her savings, but rebuilt from ashes, now ready to testify against our shared enemy. Then came Tom, a grizzled ex-detective who'd chased Brittany's shadow since Mark's crash, his notebook thick with her crimes. Their arrival was a spark in my darkness. I wasn't alone. Lisa's story, raw and familiar, echoed my own: betrayal, ruin, then defiance. She sipped coffee with me, her quiet strength a mirror to the fire I'd kindled. Tom, gruff but kind, shared leads tying Brittany to the fire that stole our home. He'd been watching her, suspecting murder in Mark's death, his resolve a shield for us all. These strangers, bound by Brittany's wreckage, became my allies, their courage a tide lifting my own. I saw Emma and Grace's drawings on the wall, their innocence fueling our fight. Lisa promised to stand with me in court, her voice firm. Tom offered tips to secure our refuge, his protectiveness a balm. Together, we'd unravel Brittany's lies. Not just for me, but for every soul she'd crushed. Seattle's rain fell outside, a soft drumbeat, as this unexpected alliance took root, a beacon of hope in our war. Its light spreading beyond these walls to a world watching our stand. Lisa and I sat late, plotting over tea, her resilience a spark to my own. She spoke of her daughter, saved through sheer will, a story that twined with my fight for Emma and Grace. Our bond grew, not just as allies but as sisters forged in pain. Tom joined us, his maps of Brittany's movements spread across the table, each pin a step closer to her downfall. He'd found a witness who saw her near Mark's car, a thread to her crime. Our talks weren't just strategy, they were healing, a weaving of trust I'd long shunned. Lisa's laughter, warm as dawn, eased my guard. Tom's steady presence, like an oak, grounded me. We shared meals, my girls giggling as Tom taught them card tricks, their joy a glue binding us. Lisa hugged me, vowing to face the courtroom at my side, her strength a lifeline. Tom checked our safe house's locks, his care a silent promise. This wasn't just a fight against Brittany, it was a family born from shared scars, our unity a weapon stronger than her lies. The city's pulse hummed beyond our walls, its rhythm syncing with our resolve. We weren't just planning justice, we were building a legacy of courage, a story that would echo online, drawing others to our cause. A viral cry for truth that Brittany couldn't silence. Our fight rippled outward, a stone cast in a digital sea. More victims emerged, their voices joining ours, each story a brick in our fortress. A crowdfunding page bloomed online, strangers donating to our legal war, their notes of hope a warmth against the cold. Women's shelters sent aid, their leaders calling me a beacon. At a community gathering, I stood, voice steady, sharing our battle, Brittany's arson, our defiance. The crowd roared, their applause a pulse that shook me. Emma and Grace crafted drawings for Lisa and Tom, their small hands weaving our makeshift family tighter. This community, born from shared pain, was a tidal wave, its strength humbling. Social media carried our tale, videos of our safe house life, my girls' laughter, Lisa's resolve, going viral, shared by thousands. We weren't just survivors, we were a movement, a call for justice that rang beyond Seattle. The foundation we'd started grew, its mission clear, to lift others from betrayal's ruins. Strangers became allies, their belief in us a fire I hadn't known I needed. Under the city's reign, Our story glowed, a trending anthem of resilience, its echo a challenge to Brittany's fading shadow, proof that together we were unstoppable. Our alliance was strong, but Brittany's shadow loomed. The final battle was coming, and the truth would demand its price. The media turned, a spotlight searing Brittany's lies. National networks aired Mark's videos, his haunted voice exposing her scams, while Lisa and Tom's testimonies fueled the blaze. My face flashed on screens. Hashtag Justice for Sarah, a digital wildfire. Trending across platforms. Reporters dissected Brittany's aliases, her forged documents, each revelation a nail in her coffin. A documentary crew reached out, eager to chronicle our fight, their lens a megaphone for our truth. I hesitated, the weight of exposure heavy, but agreed. Visibility caged Brittany, kept her cornered. Social media pulsed with our story. Women sharing their own wounds, their posts a tapestry of defiance woven around mine. Strangers tweeted support, their avatars glowing like stars in Seattle's night. The world wasn't just watching. It was rallying, our cause a beacon beyond the courtroom. My inbox overflowed with messages, mothers, survivors, allies, each one a brick in our fortress. The foundation we'd built gained momentum, its name synonymous with resilience. Yet, the glare was relentless, my life a public canvas, every scar scrutinized. I stood firm, Emma and Grace's laughter my shield, their trust my fire. The media's tide had shifted, Brittany's narrative drowned in our truth. This wasn't just my victory, it was a movement, a viral cry for justice that echoed globally. Its rhythm synced with the city's pulse, a story too raw, too real, to be ignored, drawing millions to our fight. Days later, justice struck. Police dragged Brittany from a dingy motel, her smug mask gone, replaced by panic. The black box from Mark's car, its data proving sabotage, tied her to his murder, while the arson at our home sealed her fate. In court, the judge's voice was iron, sentencing her to decades for fraud, attempted murder, and arson. Victims in the gallery cheered, their relief a wave crashing over us. I watched Brittany's face. Once defiant, now hollow, her empire of lies crumbled. The courtroom buzzed, applause erupting as reporters raced to file stories. Lisa gripped my hand, her eyes wet. Tom nodded, his gruff pride clear. This wasn't just my win, it was theirs, ours, a vindication for every life Brittany shattered. Emma and Grace were safe, their future unshackled. Social media exploded. Our victory trending worldwide, videos of the verdict shared millions of times. The Foundation's mission soared, its call for justice a clarion. I felt the weight lift. Seattle's skyline no longer a cold witness, but a stage for our triumph. Brittany's reign was over, her shadow banished by the light of truth. The judge's gavel was a heartbeat, echoing the pulse of a world that saw us, believed us. This was more than a trial's end. It was a rebirth, a testament to resilience that would inspire beyond these walls. A story etched in digital stone. I could have let hate consume me, let Brittany's poison fester. But as she was led away, chains clinking, I felt only pity. A hollow shell where her power once stood. Hatred would bind me to her, to Mark's betrayal, a chain I refused. I penned a blog post, raw and open, thanking our allies and urging forgiveness, not for the guilty, but for ourselves. Free your heart, I wrote, build from pain. It went viral, shared by thousands, sparking stories of healing worldwide. I visited Mark's grave, the earth cold under my knees. You tried, I whispered, releasing his ghost, my anger with it. Emma and Grace's laughter rang in my mind, their light my guide. I chose love, not vengeance, a path for them, for me. Social media carried my words, women posting their own releases, a digital wave of grace. The Foundation grew, its message of hope trending, a beacon for survivors. Seattle's rain fell, soft now. Cleansing. I wasn't defined by Brittany's evil or Mark's failures. I defined myself, a mother, a warrior, free. This wasn't just closure, it was a beginning, a viral testament to rising above, a call for others to shed their chains and build anew, their stories joining ours in a chorus of redemption. Justice was ours, but Brittany's final act would test my heart one last time. A month after Brittany's sentencing, a letter arrived, its crisp envelope hiding a final barb. Her lawyer's words unveiled a chilling truth. Jake, the boy she'd claimed as Mark's, wasn't hers but the son of another woman, now dead. Brittany had wielded him as a pawn, a lie to wound me. Jake, 5, languished in foster care. His eyes, Mark's eyes, staring from a photo tucked inside. My breath caught, the safe house's walls closing in. Seattle's rain drummed outside, a relentless pulse mirroring my dread. This was Brittany's last strike, a ghost from Mark's past to unravel my peace. Could I face this? Jake was innocent, yet his existence tore open old scars. Mark's betrayal, my years of rage. I saw Emma and Grace playing nearby, their laughter a fragile shield. Taking Jake meant embracing Mark's shadow, a choice that stirred fear. What if I wasn't enough for another child? What if Brittany's venom lingered, her lies tainting this boy's future? The letter trembled in my hands, its weight a challenge I hadn't foreseen. Social media still buzzed with our victory. But this was private, a wound only I could face. I paced, the city's skyline a cold witness, its lights flickering like my resolve. Jake's photo haunted me, a mirror to my girls, a test of my heart. Brittany was gone, but her shadow lingered, daring me to falter, to let fear win. This was no courtroom battle. It was a reckoning within, a viral story's quiet twist, demanding I choose love over pain. I drove to the foster home, Jake's photo burning in my pocket. He sat alone, small and wary, his eyes, so like Mark's, searching mine. Brittany's lie had used him, a child caught in her web, now adrift. My heart ached, fear whispering to walk away, to protect the fragile peace I'd built for Emma and Grace. But Jake's tentative smile stopped me, a spark through my doubt. I sat with him, drawing dinosaurs, his giggles easing my dread. This wasn't just about Brittany's deceit, it was about Mark's legacy, his failures and fleeting redemption. Taking Jake meant forgiving Mark fully, embracing his past to heal ours. I thought of my girls, their strength my guide. Fear clawed. Could I mother another, stretch my heart wider? Yet, Jake's small hand in mine was an answer, a quiet defiance of Brittany's cruelty. I told Robert I'd seek custody, my voice steady despite the storm within. This was my final stand, not against a villain, but against my own scars. Seattle's rain fell, a soft curtain, as I drove home. Jake's drawing beside me. The world didn't see this fight, but it was mine. A mother's choice to rise above pain. Social media's roar faded. This was personal, a story of redemption too raw for cameras, yet its truth would echo. A viral seed of hope for those facing their own unseen battles. The court granted Jake's custody, a quiet triumph sealed with a judge's nod. I brought him home, his hand warm in mine. Emma and Grace rushing to hug him, their joy a balm. We moved to an Oregon farm, a haven Mark had left us, its fields wide with promise. The safe house's shadows fell away, replaced by rolling hills. A new dawn. Jake's laughter mingled with my girls, a melody of healing, their footsteps weaving a family from pain. Brittany's defeat was final, not in vengeance, but in this, love's victory. A home built on forgiveness. I watched them play. The farm's oak tree a sentinel, its roots our strength. The world didn't cheer this win, but it didn't need to. Social media's buzz softened. Yet our story lingered, a trending whisper of resilience. The foundation thrived, its mission carrying our truth, but this moment was ours, private, sacred. I wasn't the woman Mark broke, nor Brittany's prey. I was Sarah, mother to 3, my heart a fortress. The farm's breeze carried hope, its fields a canvas for our future. This wasn't just survival, it was rebirth. A quiet anthem of love over fear, a viral truth that would inspire, not in headlines, but in the silent courage of those who'd rise, like us, from ashes. Jake was ours, but healing wasn't done. A new chapter awaited, one of forgiveness and hope. Lisa became my cornerstone, her presence a steady flame on our Oregon farm. She arrived with a laugh that echoed through the fields, her arms open to Jake, Emma, and Grace, who ran to her, their joy a vivid thread weaving us closer. Her own journey, shattered by Brittany's deceit, then rebuilt through grit, mirrored mine, offering a map through my scars. Over coffee, steam curling in the morning chill, she shared tales of rising from betrayal, her words a balm to wounds I'd long ignored. Lisa wasn't just an ally. She was kin, her strength a mirror to my own, urging me to trust again. We started a foundation together, channeling Mark's inheritance to aid women broken by lies, its mission a beacon for healing. She taught me to see beyond pain, to embrace the woman I'd forged, mother, warrior, survivor. The kids adored her, their giggles filling the farmhouse as she spun them in the grass. Her warmth a bridge over my guarded heart. At night, we planned, her vision sharp, expanding our outreach to shelters, counseling hope. She'd faced her own demons, her daughter's smile her guide. Just as my children were mine. Lisa's resilience showed me that healing wasn't solitary. It was shared, a tapestry of hands lifting each other. The farm's breeze carried her laughter. Its fields a canvas for our renewal. Social media caught our story, videos of Lisa with the kids, our foundation's work, trending as a cry for redemption. She helped me rebuild, not just a home, but a heart open to others, a viral testament to rising together, its echo drawing thousands to our cause, a light that Brittany's shadow could never dim. Forgiving Mark was a battle, its weight heavier than Brittany's defeat. By the farm's creek, I sat with Jake's drawing of our family, its colors bright against the earth. I'd blamed myself for Mark's leaving, believing I wasn't enough, my anger a chain I'd worn for years. His videos, raw with regret, showed a man who'd tried to atone, his love for Emma and Grace a flickering truth. I forgave him, not for his sake, but mine, releasing the rage that bound me to his ghost. I forgave myself, too, for the walls I'd built, the trust I'd shunned, the years spent proving I was more than his betrayal. Jake's curious eyes, so like Mark's, watched me as I spoke of his father. Not the man who failed, but the one who'd left us this farm, a final gift. Emma and Grace listened, their questions softening my edges, their hands in mine a promise of tomorrow. Forgiveness wasn't surrender, it was liberation, a step toward peace I'd never known. The creek's murmur echoed my release, its flow carrying old pain away. I taught my children to forgive, not to erase hurt, but to free their hearts, their laughter my reward. Social media shared our journey, posts about letting go, trending as a call to heal, women responding with their own stories of release. The foundation grew, its message a trending pulse, helping others shed their burdens. The farm's fields stretched wide, a testament to our growth, my heart no longer a fortress, but a home, open to love. Its story a viral anthem of redemption that resonated beyond Oregon's hills. We planted an oak on the farm, its roots sinking deep, a living emblem of our renewal. Jake, Emma, and Grace dug the earth, their hands caked with soil, their laughter a melody over the fields. Beneath the tree, we buried a time capsule, drawings, letters, a photo of us four, its contents a vow to grow beyond pain. The oak stood firm, its branches a promise of seasons to come, a symbol of resilience stronger than Brittany's fire. I hung a swing from its boughs, Jake's favorite perch, his giggles soaring as he flew. This tree wasn't just ours, it was a beacon, its shade a refuge for our healing. The farm's breeze whispered through its leaves, carrying memories of Seattle's chaos. Now distant, softened by time. Social media captured it. Videos of the planting, the kids' joy, trending as a story of rebirth, shared by thousands. The foundation's followers grew, their comments a chorus of hope, inspired by our oak, our capsule, our stand. It replaced the torn photo of Mark and me, its ashes long scattered, a past I'd outgrown. Each season, the tree would stretch higher, like us, its roots a mirror to our strength. I watched my children play, their faces glowing, and knew we'd won, not just against Brittany, but against fear itself. The oak was our monument, its growth a quiet triumph, a viral narrative of love's endurance. We'd built more than a home. We'd built a legacy, its echo rippling online. Our Oregon farm blossomed into a haven, its fields a canvas of renewal. Jake, Emma, and Grace raced through meadows, their laughter a melody weaving through the air. Free from Seattle shadows, I worked remotely, my startup thriving, but the farm was my soul's anchor. Mornings of pancakes, evenings of stargazing, nights reading stories by lamplight. Jake shed his shyness, his eyes bright as he learned to fish with Grace in the creek, Emma teaching him to braid daisies. The community embraced us, neighbors arriving with warm bread, their smiles a contrast to the city's cold scrutiny. Our routines were simple yet profound, breakfasts filled with chatter, bedtime hugs under a quilt of stars. The foundation we'd built pulsed with purpose, its funds aiding women to rebuild, its name a synonym for hope. Social media captured our life. Clips of the kids chasing fireflies, trending as a testament to joy reborn. The farm's oak tree stood sentinel, its shade our refuge, a symbol of roots deeper than pain. I watched my children grow, their bond a fortress, their trust my strength. The chaos of Brittany's threats, the fire, the trial, all faded, distant echoes in this new dawn. My heart, once guarded, opened wide, the farm's breeze a whisper of peace. The world saw us not as victims, but as victors, our story a beacon shared online, inspiring thousands. This wasn't just survival, it was a life reclaimed, a vibrant pulse of love and resilience that echoed beyond Oregon's hills, a viral narrative of a family forged anew, unshaken by the past, ready to face whatever future bloomed. Our story became a spark, igniting hope far beyond the farm. I spoke at gatherings, my voice steady, recounting our battle, Brittany's lies, the fire, our rise. Audiences leaned in, their eyes wet, their applause a wave, lifting me. Women wrote, their letters a flood of shared pain and triumph, their courage kindled by our fight. The foundation flourished, funding shelters, scholarships, therapy, tools to lift others from betrayal's ruins. Lisa and I led workshops, teaching resilience, our words a bridge for survivors. Jake, Emma, and Grace joined, their smiles a living proof of healing, their drawings pinned to our walls. Social media amplified our mission. Videos of our farm life, my speeches, Lisa's laughter, trending globally. Shared by millions. Hashtags like #RiseWithSarahBloomed, a digital chorus of defiance. Strangers became allies, their stories weaving into ours, a tapestry of redemption. I read their posts at night, the farms quiet wrapping me, each one a light in someone's darkness. Our fight wasn't just ours. It was a movement, a call for others to stand, to heal, to build. The foundation's reach grew, its impact a ripple turning to a tide, helping women reclaim their lives. I saw my children's pride, their hands in mine, and knew our pain had purpose. Oregon's fields stretched wide, a stage for our message, its echo a viral pulse that stirred hearts worldwide, urging others to rise from their own ashes, to find strength in our shared story of resilience. Beneath our oak, we gathered for a picnic, the kids' laughter dancing with the wind. Its branches spread wide, a guardian of our rebirth, its roots cradling the time capsule we'd buried, drawings, letters. Our family's vow. The tree was our emblem, its growth a mirror to our own, a testament to love's endurance over pain. I watched Jake swing, Emma and Grace chasing him, their joy a vivid flame. Pain doesn't shape you, I said, filming for our foundation's channel. my voice clear. You shape you. Build beauty from it. The camera caught the oak, its leaves shimmering, a symbol shared online, trending as a call to heal. I thanked our supporters, their shares fueling our mission, urging them to tell their stories, to join our fight. The video soared, millions watching, commenting, their words a chorus of hope. Your strength keeps us going, I said. Subscribe, share, let's heal together. The foundation's light spread, its message a beacon for survivors. The oak stood tall, its shade our sanctuary, its story a viral anthem of redemption. I saw my children's faces, glowing, and knew we'd crafted more than a home, a legacy. Brittany's shadow was gone. Mark's failures a faint echo, replaced by this tree, this family, this truth. The farm's breeze carried our promise, its fields a canvas for tomorrow. We'd keep sharing. Our journey a spark for others to rise, to plant their own oaks, to find peace. This was our ending, a beginning, a story etched in digital stone, its echo rippling, inspiring a world to rebuild, to love, to stand unbroken,